Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ladies in Tech Africa Project Management class. I am your instructor, Nancy Baba Ali, and welcome. So, from the looks of it, we don't have much people on the or rather in the call or in the class. So, I really want us to start off from our last class. I was Good evening, Oamjo. Nice to have you again. Good evening, Dorcas. Good evening, Agoolua. Yeah, I said that already. Good evening, Ajala Oluwatosin. You've been missed as well. Hi, Becky. Hi, Toying. Great. I can see everybody is coming to class. Hi, Haja. It's nice to have you all here. Great. Hi, Adejoke. Hi, Gift. So, with so much pleasantries going on, I think we can go ahead. So, today's class will be taken by myself, Nancy, but regardless, Mr. Kingsley, as well, my colleague, is also going to be in the class. So, I'm sure he's sending his regards. And yes, you can also say hi to Mr. Kingsley. Oh, hi, Bukola from Japan. Good morning to you. So, without further ado, in our last class, we were able to cover about, let's take the slides back to it to just have a quick recap. We spoke about techniques and methodologies in CPM. And scheduling. So does anybody remember what we spoke about scheduling? I think I was wrong with my slides. Anyone? Okay, so we could just go straight into everything. So we spoke about scheduling, project scheduling being a comprehensive guide in project management and how it's important for you to plan, organize, and coordinate to make sure that your task is going to be completed both in the budget and scope and overall success to that project. We also explained that it is the breaking down of small of tasks into smaller bits to make it more manageable, not just to yourself but to your team as well. resourcing of tasks, that's and also allocating tasks, setting deadlines for completion, and help minimize delay, challenges, and make sure that the project reaches optimum efficiency. We also spoke about CPM. CPM, which is the critical path method. We explained that it is a technique that is used in project scheduling to help in identifying the longevity of a project and making sure that everything in the project being broken down into pieces has a sequence, a flow rather, to how the project is supposed to reach its success. I also rather showed the node graph of CPM. We are already acquainted with the Gantt chart. So I felt the node chart would be much more easier and relatable for persons to be able to understand the flow of a project CPM. So we also mentioned steps in CPM, which is to identify activities, break down the project into smaller, well-defined tasks, determine dependencies, identify the relationships between activities. Some activities may need to be completed before others can start. And we also explain how to create a network diagram to visualize the sequence of activities using a network diagram, with the examples being arrow diagram and activity on node diagrams. We explained about calculating the critical path, which is identify the path through the network that has the longest duration, and to determine slack time, calculate the amount of time an activity can be delayed without affecting the project's overall duration. So who can tell me how, even without project management, one can apply these steps to even your normal day-to-day lives? Maybe an instance or something, because we spoke about it. Most likely you're able to be familiar with it right now, right? So what situation or what way have you been able to use CPM or even project scheduling in your day-to-day life? Because project management is also a way of involving your day-to-day lives, right? You're planning on projects and all. So most likely you have a way of it integrating into your personal life to may help you to be more productive, to help you to make your life easier too as well. Because as a project manager, the moment you get your life all intact, I feel you can be able to also handle a project because it's the little bits that count. So is there anybody in the class that can tell me how scheduling is important, or how it has been able to change your mindset ever since you've been taking the project management course? So nobody? Nobody has any testimonies or any good feedbacks from the project management classes you've been having? Or let's just make it broad. Anything that you've picked from the class, what has or what have you noticed has been able to, change your daily routines or to help make your life easier? Nobody? Okay. It's a bit disappointing, but we can move on since no one has anything to say about how it has helped in their daily lives. So we have techniques and methodologies from the last class, which we spoke. In addition to CPM, there are other techniques and methodologies used in project scheduling. We have PERT, PERT, which is program evaluation and review technique, similar to CPM, but incorporates probabilistic durations for activities, making it suitable for projects with uncertain activity times. What we explained was that PERT can be used for projects that are not really time bound. There is a flexibility to it, and not really a much more defined timing to it. So there is some level of flexibility, and there's some level of phases that can be integrated or can start in order for the other one to move, or you can start one before you get back to another one, just like how we explained agile can be flexible. Part two is a flexibility methodology. So we have Gantt charts, which is visual representations of project schedules showing tasks, dependencies, and timelines. The last time we showed, or rather, yeah, I showed a Gantt chart. We we were all, or rather, what I say, the class was a bit in chaos because it wasn't readable at first glance. At first glance, it wasn't understandable to you. But as time went on, you understood what a Gantt chart is, how it's supposed to work, how what it represents, the level of integrations, how a project can be linked, and how a project can have start to finishes, and have start to start and finish to finish, start to finish rather. So it was really a very interesting class, but I'm glad that everybody was able to catch up and understand what the Gantt chart is, because from henceforth, you are a step closer to being an amazing project manager the moment you understand a Gantt chart. So, in the next point, we have resource allocation. Resource allocation is one of the most important roles of a project manager, meaning that you are assigning tasks to persons that you know are capable, or rather should be capable, of handling tasks, handling, or rather allocating tasks that people or persons or individuals that you feel are going to be great to your team, and make sure that productivity increases to some level, making sure that the project reaches optimal results. So in the process of it all, we also explained in the last class how, or rather in every class, how it's important for one to give roles or tasks to people that are capable, so that the project can run smoothly and can go efficiently, and also help in making sure to meet deadlines. After that, we also spoke about Agile project management. I think everybody at this point will say I really love talking about Agile because it always has a way of popping up. So, Agile project management is an interactive approach with flexibility to adapt to changing requirements, which is also one of the pointers of CPM, which helps you to be able to be flexible to make sure that, regardless of how the project may be or how the project may go, you are able to adapt to changes, you're able to be flexible, and you're able to provide good results. You do not have to always be rigid. The flexibility allows you to be able to make sure that you can give very effective and very mindful results to the project that you may be handling. In the next slide from last class, we wrote effective project scheduling requires clear project goals, which is the scope, objectives, mission, vision of whatever that project may be, how you wish to acquire it, how you wish to obtain it, where you wish to be, and how post evaluation of that project is meant to be, right? We have detailed task breakdown, which is the breaking down of tasks into manageable and smaller bits for not just yourself as a project manager to understand and comprehend, but also to make it easier for your staffs or team members or manual labor that may be on the project. Considering other persons is very important, and making sure that everything goes smoothly. We have accurate time estimate, being realistic. Whenever I talk about timing, I love to talk about SMART goals. So at least the class has been so quiet. Does anybody remember what SMART goals are? Great. Shalom answered specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. So, sorry, Chinemerim. I hope that has been rectified. Thank you. Whatever I want to do starts with the first step. Okay. Ore Olua said measurable, Kainde said specific, Monami said specific, Idima said specific. Okay. I haven't been taking cognizance of all cost allocation. The class have taught me that one of the purpose, okay, for a project is to make profit. Cognizance of all cost allocation. The class have taught me that one of the purposes for a project is to make profit. Okay. That was Jenny's point on how project management is changing her life. Okay. Or how she's applying project management to her life. Okay. Monami Okafor said specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. I am so grateful for everybody that is making point. Yes. I just check yes, great, you were back. I'm sorry. I didn't know that it was a problem. Agatha, yes. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. I love that everybody knows what SMART goals are. I would give you all a round of applause. Okay, Marvella said this class has taught me how to have a proper planning in all areas because it's very essential and can't be left out. Very, very amazing. Great. That is great. Thank you, Mama Fresh. That says measurable and realistic. Thank you. Thank you so much. I've been able to handle tasks better whilst work remotely. Oluwasekime says, according to my boss, I am more efficient these days. I love this comment. Wow. Okay, Adijoke said, it has taught me how critical planning, budgeting, and mitigating worst case scenarios. Amazing. Really amazing, guys. I love that everybody is applying smart goals to their life and also taking project management into their own personal lives. The moment you start working on the methodologies and the pointers from your own end, from your personal life, it's more easier for you to flow into project management and to integrate into this. It's much more easier that way. So Omar Dasola said, the class has taught me how to plan my day properly and activities. I now schedule and plan better how to integrate taking care of my very active toddler and getting my business done without clashes. That is amazing. That is just beautiful. That is just beautiful. It has also taught me, said by Marvelous, how to manage risk management. It also taught me on how to manage risk management efficiently. That is great, 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 great. This class by Oizoset has been teaching me time management mostly. I'm glad, regardless, that it's just mostly time management. The moment you're able to have a grasp of time, the more it's easier for you to live better. You're not just walking through time, but you're walking with time. And that is really amazing. I'm so glad that everybody has been taking a lot from the class. So, in one of the pointers for effective project scheduling, okay, let's take one last one. Egoff Maru said the class has taught that time management is very necessary in order to round up an activity before the deadline. I also reduced my procrastinating. That is very good. That is really good. I'm so glad that it has been able to integrate into your personal lives. And for that, it really warms my heart. Oluwadamilola. The class has taught me that as a project manager, your decision and choices can make or mar a project. And we are back to projects. So that is great, everybody. Kudos to you. So, in one of the points, we have risk management from effective project scheduling that says identifying and addressing potential risks. We've spoken about negative brainstorming in our last class. We've spoken about SMART goals. We've spoken about planning against challenges, and we've also spoken about scheduling, which is what we're talking about currently in this week's class. So the moment you are able to spot risks or you are able to find out challenges and brainstorm on challenges or risks or problems that may occur in a project, it makes your work as a project manager easier and also helps in your scheduling plan. Great, great, everybody. So another point is communication and collaboration, effective communication among team members. Your team can make or mar you. Your team is you as the project manager. Your team, without effective communication and without being able to understand the scope or the vision of a project, can really affect results. because the moment communication is bridged, there is no understanding, there is no relations, or there is no aligned voice, or there is no unity, synchronization amongst your team members and you yourself as a project manager, there is a most likely chance, or rather, there is a high chance that that project will not reach its optimum results. It might not be optimum success. There might be delays in the project. There might be more challenges than you can predict. There might be problems that do not make sense to even you as a project manager. So, yes, Mama first said it has taught me to manage my finances. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Then we have monitoring and control, tracking progress and making adjustments as needed. Like I said in the last class, micromanagement or nano management rather, sorry, is not the role of a project manager. Because I said I love to do it doesn't mean that you as a project manager you're supposed to do that. It is not your role, it is not your work to micro or nano manage anybody. You have assigned persons to do this work, so meaning that they should handle this with optimum professionality, and they're getting paid for this. So you have to make sure that the head of each department or the head of each team should be able to give the best results in this. Sorry, Sarah. Don't worry. We're still with you in the class. We're not going out of pace. Everybody is going to be carried along in the class. So in the 10th slide, we had the conclusion, which is project scheduling is a fundamental aspect of successful project management. By using techniques like CPM, PERT, and Gantt charts, project managers can efficiently plan, coordinate, and control projects, ensuring timely completion within budgets and scope. Effective project scheduling is essential for achieving project goals and maximizing return on investment. So, without further ado, who can also tell me what they learned from the last class? I'm glad, Sophie. Before we move on to today's class, what have you learned from Gantt charts? What have you learned from CPM? What have you learned from PERT? What was your take home from the last class? So that we can move fully to the next class. Shalome said she doesn't understand the chart. You don't understand the charts or you don't understand the node chart. Which of them don't you understand? Okay. Shalome said Gantt. Okay, so today in this class we'll be talking more on the Gantt, the CPM and softwares that you can use to aid make work easier for you. So you'll be able to understand more on that. So don't worry, don't worry. We're going to work on that today. When I explain to you about how Gantt charts, how using this software with a Gantt chart is, it's going to be much more relatable and understandable for you to do that. Okay. Marvelous said to aid a fast and quick flow up, the Gantt chart is advisable to use. Okay, great, great. That's really great. Okay, could you give us an example of chart, an example or chart for PERT? Okay, don't worry, I did okay. We're going to go into classes today and you'll get to see what they look like. But regardless, I would still go back and show you the slide that says program evaluation and review technique. Remember how Emma was saying that as a project manager, you're supposed to constantly evaluate yourself. You're constantly supposed to check your planning. It works the same thing for CPM and charting too as well. You cannot you cannot make decisions without fully understanding the timelines and the deadlines, the float times. You cannot make realistic timelines without also calculating the costing of everything, the resources, team or manual labor. You have to be very meticulous about all of these things, right? So when you're using PERT, it's more of a it's more of the negative brainstorming. It's more of negative brainstorming, but you are putting it in probability, probable problems, probable challenges, probably probable risks. Those phases that or those plans that you feel handling them would be a risk to the the project, or if you still handle it, what will be the result of it? You understand? It's just you looking at the problems and the risks and also try to mitigate it and make sure that it's still going to align with your timeline. I hope I've been able to answer that. Okay. Shalom said, I learned that for to get a good outcome of a project, you have to estimate accurate schedules. Okay. And how it is also necessary to add a buffer or extra time to your schedule so as to accommodate delays, which is really, really good, which is very, very interesting. I'm glad that you have been able to pick up a point from the class, which is always do your possible best to make sure that you have an extra day in your projects, in your project timelines. Make sure to add and always try to put an extra day. But do not do that in a way that it exceeds your time frame, because then it could affect your project. Blessing said she learned about Gantt charts helps in monitoring and accessing achievements and progress on a project. Learned from Gantt charts that timing scheduling tasks is very important. I learned that. The chart make you plan, organize, and help you to come with effective outcomes on time. Or as I said, TPM kind of like help you decide when tasks are important to finish first. Very, very true. Very, very true. I'm so glad that everybody learned so much from CPM, and we can then dive into our next class, the topic for today. But if you have any other questions, you can ask before I hop into project scheduling softwares. Mhm. Anything? No one has any question anymore? Oluwatosin, are you not in the Telegram group and the OLS? Shalomi, sure. Haven't you been getting the slides? I thought everybody was getting the slides. Okay, okay, that might be from our own end. Well, we apologize. Seriously apologize. Oh, wow. I'm sorry about that. That may be from our own end. Sarah, what video did I mention? Okay, I mentioned if it's about the videoing, I said you can always revisit this class since it's being streamed, meaning you can always go back and rewatch the videos. I'll see. Okay, we'll try to rectify that and see how we can work on that. I apologize, honestly, from our own end, and we'll work to doing better so that you'll be able to understand more. But I do hope with the way we've been explaining the slides, you've still been able to learn a lot. That would be where the problem will be when you're not understanding what we're saying, or if I'm not communicating properly with you. Thank God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank goodness. I'm glad, Eggoff. Thank you. Sorry about that, Elsie. I didn't know about that. I apologize sincerely. Yes. Yes, you can. Okay. Okay, Choma says, please can we move on? Sure, definitely. Why am I not getting the training? Okay, so today's class is project scheduling softwares. And we're going to dive into that to fully explain and understand what project scheduling softwares are. As a data, let me first discuss about it. As a data analyst or as a graphic designer, even as a project manager, or before you become a project manager, there are tools that in each skill that you learn helps make things easier, right? For data analysts, we have Excel, SQL, Power BI. Not at all, Ade Bola. I apologize. I was not really fully happy with the last class, so I'm trying my best to make sure that I catch up with everybody this class. But don't worry, I'm sure by Friday I'll get over it. I just don't like meeting up to task. I apologize. But regardless, as I was mentioning, as a data scientist or a data analyst, we have the likes of Power BI, we have the likes of SQL, Excel, and so many other softwares, right? For a graphics designer, they have apps like, or rather, softwares like um, Photoshop, Illustrator, Incubator, I used to use it, but regardless, yeah. So thank you, Toyin. So whilst that is happening, as a project manager, your tools or your softwares that you'll be using are both MS Project and Primavera. You can pick from any of these two. There are so many tools out there that you can use. By the day, people are looking for easier ways of integrating all these tasks and making it easier for you as a project manager. But so far, so good. The best and the most advisable is Primavera and MS Project. Jenny said, I have missed the quizzes twice now. I have attended classes and never heard about any announcements for them. Wow, that sounds really sad. I don't know how you missed that. But regardless, from our own end, we apologize. And most likely the next quiz you would definitely be carried along. It will be posted and I would announce it, or Mr. Kingsley to announce it. Like I said, I actually have notes, just being considerate of others. Everybody's learning process and situation differs. Very true, Sarah, too. Which is why we're taking it very slow. I'm taking it very smooth. Jai Jai said, I'm late today. Don't worry, you're late, but we're just starting on today's class. So let's move to the next slide before I get distracted. So, introduction. Project scheduling software plays a crucial role in modern project management by providing tools and capabilities to efficiently plan, track, and manage projects. Two of the most widely used project softwares application in these domains are Microsoft Project and Primavera. So, like I was already explaining before we came into this slide, excuse me, I'm sorry. Project scheduling software plays a crucial role in modern project management. It just helps you to make things easier. It just helps you to keep in track with the times. It's just easier. The moment you understand the Gantt chart and all, you would be able to feel more at ease while working or doing your project management roles. There is a topic that I love so much after this topic after today. It's about time management. I love that topic so much with the whole of my heart. And there's so many skills, so many skills here, so many techniques that you can use, you can incorporate in your daily lives. I even advise that people use it mostly in their daily lives, because the moment you start using it, the moment you adapt to it, it's so much easier for you personally and then the project. Because when you've taught your team those techniques, when you use those techniques, when they use that techniques, life becomes harmony, not just for you but also for the project. The rate of success in that project will be high, because you have already learned all the techniques that helps make tax look cumbersome or burdensome easy. You understand? So all of this, that's a topic that we're going to go into next class, and I look forward to teaching you in the next class, most likely, or even Mr. Kingsley, because it's a very amazing topic. So every project manager would always love to teach people about techniques on how to make work easier. Do not worry, after everything you will still be, or you are still on track. So we have MS Project and Primavera. These are the two tools, like I've mentioned earlier. So, Microsoft Project, a popular project management software that offers features like task management, resource allocation, and Gantt charts. I'm sure I'm sure most of us here in class have PCs, personal computers, right? Even if you don't have a personal computer, let's say the desktop you use or your office desktop, or even if you use Google, for those that have Android, you would notice that your some of your apps are installed in your phone, like your mail, your Google apps, most of that. And if you also notice that in your PC, you actually have MS Project, but you've never paid attention to it. It's actually really there. Most people just pay attention to to Microsoft Word, or to Excel, Microsoft Excel sheets. But then with this little pro tip, I'm sure if you're using your system currently, you can just go to your Windows section and just type MS Project, and voila, you will see it there. It's already imputed in your systems or your PC or your desktop. And if you're that much of a apps or productivity freak, you might have it in your phones. Most people like me. Yeah. So, like I mentioned in the definition, a popular project management software that offers features like task management, resource allocation, and Gantt charts. Gantt chart is here to still hunt people that do not understand it, but I promise you, it's not hunting you. It's just trying to make your life easier. Okay, Sarah, you didn't? Then just try MS, then put P. It's meant to be in your system. It's supposed to be a Fullocom app from in your PC, like the likes of PowerPoints and the rest. It's the whole MS Microsoft Office softwares. It's in the package, but it's usually there. Sorry about that. Okay, so the second is Primavera. Primavera is a comprehensive project management suite used in large scale projects, providing advanced features for project planning, scheduling, and resource management. So, in Primavera, It's a bit more complex than MS Project. MS Project just helps you with, you can do small scale projects with it. Give says it is there. So thank God. Yes, you have seen it. Great, 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 great. I'm glad you all have seen your MS project tool. Welcome on board. While Primavera, most of the time you have to install it, unlike MS Project, that is most times in your system. Primavera, you have to download it and utilize it. It's more complex than the MS Project. MS Project, it's direct, it's for small scale projects, it's for, um, let me say, not really cumbersome work. It's just really easy and straight to the point. You just impute your tax and your name, your tax, you put the duration. These are the features in MS Project. Name, tax, name of the tax, rather. Duration, you have your Gantt chart by the right hand side. You have the work, you have your link futures. There are so many futures, and I would really love it if you can try to dibble dabble, you know, dibble dabble with your MS project. You've seen the app, try to dibble dabble with it, and the moment you see the interface, you would be able to really understand the Gantt charts, because this time around you are the one working on the chart. It's very self explanatory, it's very easy to navigate, and all that. But for Primavera, it's much more constructive. It's used in large scale projects with most big organizations and architectural project managers and the likes of them love to use Primavera because of its so many features and the fact that it has a much more higher use rate with the with its easy calculations and all. It has features like um the LS, EF, the EF, the LS, ES, and flow and duration time that I mentioned in the last class. All this. Okay, Sarah, to where can you get Primavera? You can just type it in your search bar or in your tool search bar, either through Chrome or in your MS what do you call it? In your MS what do you call it? Package store. Yeah, depending on uh what PC you're using. You can also check it in your Apple store in your system and just type it Primavera and you get it. So it has so many features for planning, scheduling, resource management. It also has features like nodes, node chats, links, and the likes of them. So Primavera is really advisable when you know you want to work with large scale organizations rather than projects that are mostly short time based and don't have much complexities in the workings. So is MS Project the same thing as publisher? Because the P symbol I'm seeing on my PC is showing publisher. Oh no. It's supposed to say MS Project. As you can see on my screen, the way it is, that's pretty much how it's supposed to look like when you find it. Okay, publisher is it's an app that you can also use for Primavera. You can synchronize it with your Primavera. There's a lot of it, but we'll move to the next section. So Microsoft Project, this is how most of the time the interface tends to look like. Uh, these are if this is just a representation, a pictorial representation of how MS Project looks like. Yes, Emmanuel, Primavera P6 is an Oracle based. Yes. Why don't I have MS Project? Don't worry, beautiful world. Regardless, you can always download them. They're just softwares that you can install. Just make sure that your PC can handle the software. You maybe have a good Windows and updated Windows and also enough gig RAM that can be able to process so that your working will not be too slow while you're working. All this you also have to put into consideration, but it's seamless. It's a seamless app or software rather that when you get, it's easy to navigate with time. Okay, which one should we download precisely? So for now, Bukola said I have Primavera Sound, report, evaluation, etc. Please, what one should we download precisely? For now, we're going to. I would advise you to get the two. Yes, I would advise you to get the two. For small projects, for um short-term projects, it's advisable you work with MS Project. But when working with um, big companies, when working on a very big project whereby everything has to be meticulous and all that, and you also have to have WBS, OPS, EPS, depending on what future you want to be in your representation, right? It's important for you to have. Thank you. Sorry, I was saying something. It's important for you to have the two because you can never tell. But for as a beginner, advisably right now, I would advise you to start with MS Project because it's way much more easier. The futures aren't as cumbersome as Primavera, but regardless, you can have the two and constantly practice with the both of them so that it will be easy for you. So we will soon be going on a break and then we'll come back and continue with MS Project. Please make sure to um, write your name down in attendance. And thank you, Adejoke, that says it's also on Microsoft 365 suite. Yes. So have a lovely break, and I'll see you guys in the next 10 minutes. Bye. Welcome back, everybody. Yes. So, Omodasola said she's seen the slides on LMS. So that is very good. I am so glad. I'm sorry that it took so long to be able to access the slides. It was never our intention to hog on them this long. Apologize for us. But thank you for understanding. And I hope that with that you'll take your time to peruse through, read through, and learn more in your own time from the slides. So let's go into today's class. Let's continue from where we stopped. So thank you, Mama Fresh. So as I was talking about earlier in MS project, Microsoft project, software slash tool. Um, I mentioned that MS software is actually very user friendly. It's not as bulky or cumbersome. Once you log into it, you see how easy it is. You can just go direct or straight into imputing your tags. You do not have to you do not have to go through the whole process of adding new, creating, picking OBS or EPS or WPS. It has so many features in but MS Project is just straight to the point. You just impute your task or whatever name you want to go ahead for the task. Name the project like how we always mention that you should name the project with the ideal naming, how I explained in I think the third class from the first, on how you write PM first. Always make sure to write PM. Then you can write the example I always give: domain real estate or dominoes or direct real estate. Then column house project or column pool project or column event project or column whatever. You just use a noun, either a name or a thing, to just describe the project. So PM, domain real estate, column house project or school project or whatever. But this is the format for you to save as a name for a project, so that it will be easier for you and it will be easier for your client or um your client or your overall head to be able to decipher which of the files, because it's not just you, it's not just your department that is working on many projects. There are other departments working on many projects, but it's more specific and it's more thoughtful when you name your project in a very easy formatting, so that they can know or distinguish which project is for which or which document is for which. It also helps you look more professional and more tidy. It shows clean, clean tasking or clean working. So this is like how the futures are meant to look like. In MS Project, it also has a calendar. It has project name, priority. Uh, when you start, you do not need to go in depth. You can just start working with just project name. You can work with duration. You can work with work, or you can also work with the calendar. You don't need to be too cumbersome with all these features. You can just You can just be as minimalistic as you can, but make sure that it's relatable and very clear for you to understand. Don't worry, Umi, since you have the slides, you can also open a tab and have the slides open so that it's going to be easier for you yourself to be able to understand everything. So yeah. So with time, been given your tasks to uh, make most likely a rough chart, that will be an assignment. It's not going to be something you report back. But who knows? I might decide that you should create a project for me using an MS project for me to understand how well you've gotten it. Let's just put that in the back of our notes to see if everybody has been understanding and is ready to get on board with us. Project planner? What do you see as the logo? If you don't see the logos, Project Planner is another different software. But if it's MS Project, yes, then you have the right one. Okay, Oiza. I don't even know what to do. Uh, I don't know if you can, if I can show you. This is how it's supposed to look like. You can just go to your browser, open a tab in your browser and type in MS Project, right? Type in MS Project, and when you type in MS Project, I'm sure futures like Google. Doctors, you can hardly hear me. Is that a problem with every other person? Can you you can't hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, Omada Sola. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So I think it's from your end. If you're having problems hearing me, it's probably from your end. It's most likely from your end. So yes. Also, I'm really sorry that you're having such problems trying to figure out how your browser is giving you a different thing when you're supposed to be giving you MS Project. But I think you can ask somebody around you to help you with that. You understand? I don't know what the problem may be, but I'm sure you can get someone to help you with that. Most likely. So, sorry again. This is how it's supposed to look like. That's how it's supposed to look like. It's any other thing is another app, maybe has the same features, but it's not MS Project if it's not written MS Project. So, yeah, this is how it is. Like I mentioned, there will be dates, there will be duration, there will be names, there will be work, and then you have your Gantt charts. What for beginners like yourselves, or for even advanced persons that may be in this class, you can still just try using MS Projects. You understand, creating the schedules. Um, just get a project from the top of your head and just give it a duration time. Maybe let's go with 30 days for a project. Name it, source for what resources you will need, who you would assign them to, and yeah, you can do that. So let's move away from MS Project. So these are key features again, like I mentioned, that you'll be seeing in MS Project. You'll be seeing task management, which is to create, assign, track tasks within a project. We also have resource allocation, assign resources, people, equipment to tasks. You could. It's a very easy, understandable future whereby in the scheduling or in a task that you've scheduled, you assign it directly to a person. You can see They can see it clearly in the Gantt charts that okay, this person has been assigned to this role, to this task, and is supposed to manage it there. Choma, we've not been seeing you in the comment session. I really hope you're doing well today. I've just been seeing Adejoke and what's her other name? Yeah, and Pelumi. Yes, they've just been the ones that have been answering, and a few other persons with Sarah too and Oiza. Yeah, with Omo Dasola, right? Yes, Omo Dasola too as well. It's nice to have you back. Emmanuel says it'd be nice if you put them through by showing them the tool live and let them follow what you're doing on it. My thoughts on how to make others follow on. Okay, so that would really take a lot in our timing for today to do that. And the plan is for me to give it like an overview and explain it to you. So I would really love it if what I've explained to you, you try your possible best to work on it, because I'm literally giving you like all the pointers so far. I'm giving you all the pointers, and I won't have much time if I try to do that. But we'll look into how we can incorporate that. And maybe I don't think in the next class I will just assign you assignments, and it will be fine for you to also browse through, um, make your own findings, watch also videos that will help you to be able to navigate around it. You understand me? You understand, Emmanuel, right? Yes, yes. So everybody is missing Chioma today. Choma is now the class rep of this project management class. Okay, back to our points. Gantt charts. Create and manage Gantt charts to track project progress. Remember, Gantt charts is one of the most easiest thing that you can have when you're scheduling. Do not be frightened by it, by the numbers, by the columns, or by the scheduling box. It's really not as complex as you think it is. It's just like, um how would I explain it? It's just like you coloring the lines. Yes, you coloring the lines of a tax. It's not really that hard. And I promise you, I won't tell you it's hard, because it's not hard. I know everybody that is here is very intelligent and smart to be able to pick up from anywhere. I trust all of you in this class, and I know that you guys are going to do your best because you have been showing me so much feedbacks. You've been giving me great feedbacks. You've been giving Mr. Kingsley amazing feedbacks. So yes, we have reporting. You can also report to as well. Um, it helps you to generate report, to monitor project performance and identify potential issues. So in the charting, it's not as advanced as Primavera, but it also has charts too. It also has charts too, and the charts can help you to navigate. It can help you to see where problems are clearly. If you just look at it from your lay point of view of just looking at the numbers and looking at the scheduling and the boxing, even though if you have a very good eye, you're very meticulous, you can be very precise and pick up like problems. But with a chart, it's way more easier. You can clearly spot a problem. So it also has a chart feature that you can use to be able to spot where problems may be. It helps you to just evaluate yourself and to evaluate the project as a whole. The class is having its own little fun in the comment section. That's how you know Chioma is in class. So we have collaboration. You can facilitate collaborations among your team members, and also you can just share project files as well with them. These are features of Microsoft projects, of MS projects. So in the next session we have Primavera. I know you're going to think I like Primavera more than MS project, but the truth is Primavera is actually very it has a lot of features, and I'm a big person, I'm a big lover of features. I love something that has so many features that can make my work look easier and neater and cleaner. You understand? Yes, I love it when that can be the case. That I can give good resulting or show good workings. Yes. That is what I have to say about Primavera from my own point of view. So Primavera is a comprehensive project management suite often used in large scale and complex projects. It offers advanced features beyond those found in Microsoft projects, making it suitable for organizations with high project management demands. So remember, I mentioned MS2, you can use it for projects, but not necessarily large scale projects. Um, there are apps that they're software you just download on my Dasola. There are softwares you just download. It's not unless you want to pay for advanced features, but they're free. They're free. Just download and install them. Yeah. So I explained. So um for what's it called? Primavera, there are a lot of features, like so many features. We have the CPM, which we spoke about, critical path methodologies for Chama MS is not free. Well then, the one I've been using one, so I don't know how comes for me it's free. But I've been using one and it's free. I don't know. Maybe maybe it's from your own end, but in the one in my system is free. I don't know. I don't know. Chama, I don't know. You've got me all puzzled. So yours is $10 per okay, okay. Maybe you signed in and you paid for a plan. You can always get these apps, all the softwares, and not necessarily pay. You can just use their free options. Unless you're using a government a organizational email, that's when I know they charge. But if you're using your personal email, it's hard. It's most likely not going. They're not most likely charging you. They don't most likely charge you. So to move into it, so yeah, this is how a typical Primavera uh, software looks like. As you can see, the Gantt chart is there. This is even looking way more neater, way more clean. So you have features whereby you can change the coloring, you can change the structuring, you have features where you have WPS, you have OBS, organizational organizational breakdown structures, and so many other features. And you can set durations. It's just really more advanced than MS. And we have EPS to enterprise page structure. Sorry. Yeah. So there are a lot of features, and it's also very easy to navigate. It's also very easy to navigate. You just get to pick whatever, whichever um of the formats or formulas, or whichever structure enterprise, sorry, whatever enterprise you choose to use. You, because it's in, there are so many enterprises, you just click on the one that aligns more with the projects that you're going to work with, or what you want to do, whether it's OBS, whether it's EPS, whether it's work breakdown structure. It depends. You just click on it, you just add, create your not chats. It has the not chatting feature, it has the Gantt charts there. It's just really, really broad. And it large scales organizations really prefer Primavera, because it's very explanatory. Everybody can clearly see it, and you can create organizational chartings. You have no chartings, just so many features. And it also helps you to calculate as well your duration time. I mentioned that it has those the formulas for LS, it has, yes, for yes, LS, LF, ES, and EF with duration and flow. It has that feature too to help you calculate it, to make it easier for you too as well. It's just really broad. So there's a lot going in the comment section about it being free and it being not free. It all depends. It all depends. If you're still willing to pay, there are persons that get to get the free version. But this is new to me, hearing that you pay. But yeah, the free versions, and if yours says you have to pay, I'm sorry about that. Maybe there's a problem going on there. I don't know. I don't know. So let's move to the next slide. It looks like class today after Choba came has been very, very interactive. Hmm. Okay. Enterprise. We have key features of Primavera. Okay, Oluwato saying. So we have enterprise level project management, handle multiple projects and portfolios simultaneously. Unlike the MS, that it's just okay. Kings and twist. You can ask your question. I'm with you. Final year project. In what sense? Kings and twist. Yes. Like, do you want to use it for your schooling, Kings and Twist? I don't understand the question. Okay, let me just go straight. When I see your question, I'll answer you. Yeah, you can do that, Kings and Twist. You can do that to just work on it. You can just do that. I advise you to try to make sure to understand the software and the tools that you're using as a project manager. It's going to really help you. You can use it even for your day-to-day life, but I would advise if it's not a cumbersome project that you plan on working on, you can use MS Project rather than Primavera. So one of the features in the enterprise level project management is that for Primavera you have so many enterprises that you can link and work simultaneously on, but in MS Project it's really limited. It's not as broad as Primavera. So we have resource optimization, optimize resource allocation and utilization. This simply in a nutshell is that it helps you also with the features of allocating tasks to persons in, it's supposed to be P6 OISA. Optimize resource allocation and utilization, and it helps you to utilize your resources better, clearer, and to know it's being used, how it's being used, yes, how it's being utilized, to help manage it if it's being overused, if it's being used properly, if it's not being used at all. It really helps you with that as well. Risk management, identify, access, and mitigate project risks. So I also mentioned that it has the node view, the node view. Yeah, so in that node view, you can be able to clearly state and point out problems, even in the Gantt chart and in the lay enterprise or normal display view that you choose or you pick to use um in your presentation. It really helps you in spotting problems, spotting uh challenges. I also like to color code. It's very advisable that you color code too as well, so that you can know like where problems too may be. It's just a constant form of helping you to reevaluate and evaluate too as well. So we have change management, manage changes to project scope, schedule, or budget. So it also gives you that ability or that freedom or free will to be able to have flexibility and to also change or update whatever you need to update, reevaluate whatever you need to evaluate in your work process, or in your work planning or scheduling. It helps with that too as well. It helps to make you to mitigate risks. So we have, sorry, you have to mitigate risks and to help with the scope, meaning that yourself, you can understand where the project is heading, you can understand where the project is at, what the challenges may be, and whether, excuse me, the project is trying to reach its optimum success or is delaying, there is a delay or a problem. All this is a key feature that it helps in spotting. So we have integration with other systems. integrate with other business systems, ERP, CRM, for seamless data flow. Oya Banjo Bumi, I'm sorry about that. Is the class not interactive enough for you? But just try your best. We'll soon be rounding up. So I'm sure it could pick up for you. Yes, seamless data flow. Yeah. So we have customize the software to meet specific organizational needs. In the sense of each company have their own format, right? And each company have their own view of things. What client A likes won't be what client B likes. So it gives you the freedom and free will to be able to optimize with what your clients want or what your clients needs. It could be something as trivial as the structuring, but all these features really matter. And as a project manager, you're meant to deliver. That is your work. So yes, our I think choosing the right software will soon be done. Will soon be done. Everybody hold your horses. So choosing the right software, the choice between Microsoft Project and Primavera depends on several factors, including project size and complexity. For smaller projects, Microsoft Project may be sufficient, but for larger, more complex projects, Primavera advanced features might be necessary. For organizational needs, consider the specific requirements of your organization, such as industry specific features or integration with existing systems. Okay, you asked for ERP. ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. It's an acronym. Enterprise Resource Planning. Yes. So this is a future from Primavera. Okay. But all these can't work on smartphones. No, 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 no. It can't. You need to have a PC, Rachel. You can have it in your phone to maybe view, but yeah. I did okay. You too, you're tired. I'm sorry about that. But you the more you practice, the more you learn and the more it's more seamless for you and easy for you. Don't worry. We just have a few more minutes to go and the class will be fine to be over. So we have budgets. Primavera typically has a higher price point compared to Microsoft Project. And then user preferences, evaluate the interface and ease of use for both softwares. So this is the look of both of them, Oracle, Primavera, and Microsoft Project. This is the interface, and as you can see, Oracle has so many features, has so many um has so many features, has so many EPS, ERPs than Microsoft's project. So it's up to you to pick. So, conclusion: both Microsoft Project and Primavera are powerful project management tools that can significantly enhance project planning, execution, and control. By carefully considering your organization's needs, excuse me, and budgets, you can select the most appropriate software to support your project management of efforts. So this is the last slide that we have. So before we go, is there any questions from the class? I know everybody's saying they're tired, but so far the class was interactive. Choma came and became Choma. So, but yes. Please can we get answers to the quiz we did, because I also sure I got all the questions answered correctly, only to see I missed three. Okay, we'll put that into consideration. Um, Omodo Salo. Sorry, Omoda Sola. We'll put that into consideration. I did okay. It sounds like you had a very stressful day. You sound like you had a very busy day. But regardless, I wish you the very best as well. Uh, please, can we still submit the assignment on the element? You can do that. You can still do that. It's still open. If you've done yours, sure. Ma, are we getting practice project? Yeah, you would be assigned that. You'll be assigned tasks to do to work on as your personal assignment. Adejoke said she had a very long day because Adejoke used to be one of the best, one of the most interactive students in class. But I really hope you get enough rest this night. Okay, which one is Jara? Jara is also another project management app that helps you with phases, and it helps you to assign tasks to persons or your team. It helps to allocate. It doesn't have like a Gantt chart, but it also has a no, it has a scheduling plan too as well. It has a scheduling plan too. It has so many other features. Uh oh my goodness, good night, Miss Nancy. How do I get access to LMS? That should be from the Telegram. From the Telegram group. I haven't allocated any assignments yet, please. So you do not need to worry. The first quiz we had, we saw the questions we got wrong, but not this one. Please, Miss Nancy, help us enable. Okay, okay. I've taken that into consideration. Sarah too. If are we doing internships in this program? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I can't give you that answer right now. Is Jara free? Jara is also free. Yeah, Jara is also free. It is. Yes, it is. But there are some features that if you want to unlock, you'd have to pay. But you can still run in the free trial. Hello, Nancy. I couldn't take the quiz. Please help. Okay, don't worry. We'll look into that to making sure that people that need to also take the tests that came late, if we can handle that. Is it a Scrum Master? Okay. How can I join the Telegram group? I think there should be there should be you should have gotten an email, or there should be a link that you should get to that. Don't worry, there's no assignment. I've not allocated assignments yet. So Blessing already said, answered that. She said you should please click X in this live chat and click on more in the description, read down, and you'll see the link. Thank you so much, Blessing. If I can use, yeah, Elsie, sorry. I'm sorry. There are so many questions that I have to attend. You haven't responded. If I can use Jira in project management. Yes, you can use Jira on project management, but it depends on what project you're handling. It's if you're going to be handling like most likely a remote job or web designs, or I use it mostly for like web developers or clients that need tracking in maybe software building, app building, or uh, in making sure that they reach deadline in whatever projects. That one is mostly for remote, but you can also use it for like on site or physical too as well. There's so many softwares you can use that you can use for project management. It's up to you to pick your preferences, but this is like the most recognized: Primavera and MS Project. Okay. I've been studying an assimilation. Well, I got 610. Oh, sorry, Kemi, but you did so well. For you to get it 6 out of 10, that's still a very, very good result. I'm proud of you, regardless. You don't need to beat yourself up. I second you, Honeybee. Justice for us beginners and coffee. Assimilating. Kemi, don't worry, you'll get the next one well. Thank you so much for encouraging yourselves. I'm so glad that we have so many compassionate team members and project managers that are looking out for each other in this class. That says a lot, and I'm really proud of you guys. Shalom, there is always our strengths and our deficiencies. I'm sure this is not even your deficiency. So do not worry. I'm sure you're going to do well. It's just more understanding, more communication, and I'm sure you're going to do great. Ajala Olwatosin. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I really don't know if that's an option, but I hope it is. I would also really love to work with you too. So I don't think we have much to discuss anymore. I want Adejoke to go and sleep. I want everybody to have a very nice rest. The class can be tiring, I know, but the road to success is never easy. It's never easy. It's never not challenging. And it's the challenges that build us. You understand? So, without further ado, I know it's 5 minutes before the time. Oh, I have a an open account. I have an open account too. You can just message me in the open one. You'll see two Nancy Baba Ali's. I am the two Nancy Baba Ali's. You can just reach out. Regardless, I have an open account and I have a private account. Regardless, whichever one you choose to DM me, I open my arms to welcome you. So please, everybody go rest, go take time to have a nice night, and I love you all, and do well to always practice and always, learn more. Learn more. So without further ado, good night everyone. uh, حد جا كسي أي حوصة